Lindsay Street roadwork continues to take a toll on Norman. Oklahoma energy tax cuts are gone with the win, and OU students rally for a professor's tenure. This is OU Nightly. And driving down West Lindsay Street has been more like riding a roller coaster than the entrance to the University of Oklahoma.
And construction began on the project more than 2 years ago, but here's what they're doing this week. Workers will continue constructing the Lindsay Street I-35 off-ramp, begin installing drainage boxes along McGee, and continue working on the columns on the Lindsay Street Bridge over Imhoff Creek.
And Reagan Ledbetter joins us live on Lindsay Street with more details on those projects and when they'll be finished and what it's going to look like. Reagan?
Yeah, that's right, guys. Not a lot of positive things have been said during this whole process. A lot of drivers and business owners have had frustration that has piled up, but the end product may be worth it.
More on gas this year. This according to the Energy Information Administration, who expect a nationwide spike in prices, which has some Oklahomans worried that their wallets will be running on empty.
I'm like putting like $15 in my gas tank right now because I don't have the money to fill it up all the way as a college student, so.
Others don't see the increase as a long-term trend.
Yeah, it is more money, but I feel like we've seen stuff like this
in here, and you know, you kind of can tell that some of the businesses, you know, are suffering from it.
Yeah. While revamping a main entrance to the university is key, a safety improvement was one of the main goals for the project.
It had a crash rate about 3 times higher than a street of that category nationally. So it was unsafe and it was way too busy. So we had a lot of problems on that street.
The people that use Lindsay Street for transportation are less concerned with the safety, but more so with the bumpy, congested ride being over. The positives are coming soon.
We're going to be creating a 4-lane street, which is amazing. It's going to get more capacity, going to be safer, allow cars to go around when people are turning. But then we're doing a lot of stuff that's going to be aesthetic. We've really spent a lot of time with that. We're building a center median down the middle, which is going to give us what we're calling the triple canopy. So we'll be able to have trees on the outside and trees down the middle.
The project is following a Cherokee Gothic themed brickwork similar to the university. The remodel is not only designed to help drivers.
We're really trying to make it a place where it's pedestrian friendly, beautiful, and we're hoping that that will really add to that corridor, really gaining in the future and becoming something really nice.
The project is exactly a month behind, but the I-35 part of the project is supposed to be done in July. The rest of it, all of Lindsay Street, is aimed to be complete by the next semester, the middle of next semester. Back to you guys.
And I know a lot of people are looking forward to that new street.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Reagan. An estate tax credit that helped Oklahoma jump to 3rd in the nation in wind energy production is coming to an end later this year. In another attempt to close the state's $868 million budget shortfall, Governor Mary Fallin signed legislation to end the 2003 tax credit for zero-emission facilities. Under the original measure, facilities had until 2021 to start operating for the credit, but that deadline is now July 1st of this year. Oklahoma officials do not think that the state will see a fall in wind energy production following the end of the tax credit, and despite these changes, Oklahoma will not see substantial changes in its budget in the near future due to the 10-year length of the program.
And the Oklahoma House of Representatives honored the late Representative David Brumbaugh following his death this Saturday. Brumbaugh's office was decorated with an Oklahoma flag draped across his chair and a folded U.S. flag sitting on his desk. A cause for death was not been released, and funeral services have yet to be announced.
Oklahoma now has a new definition for weed. Governor Mary Fallin signed House Bill 1559 today, amending the definition to exclude any approved cannabidiol drug or substance from being considered marijuana. No cannabis drug has been approved by the FDA, but it's currently being researched to help treat childhood seizures. This is the 3rd year in a row Fallin signs a bill to expand its use. Well, it's kind of hazy and cloudy outside.
It's cloudy, but it's still 70. It feels nice. Grant, what is going on?
Yeah, guys, it is pretty nice out there. The clouds have kind of hung around all day, and unfortunately, it really dodged all of the rain from last night and into today. Most of it staying well to the south now, but I'll show you more on that in Maine weather, and that's helping to keep cooler temperatures. 62 down in Ardmore. We're 69 right here in Norman, just a couple degrees warmer up in Oklahoma City, and with all that moisture is making it feel a little bit muggy out right now. 59 is our dew point. And it's when we get into the 60s and even 70s when it starts to feel really humid out there, so not far off of that. Now, coming up in Maine weather, I'll show you when we'll see a break from these clouds. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Grant. The oil and gas industry is always a hot button topic in Oklahoma, and as our Fain reports, what's good for the industry often means more spending for consumers.
U.S. consumers will likely spend around $200 more on gas this year. This according to the Energy Information Administration, who expect a nationwide spike in prices, which has some Oklahomans worried that their wallets will be running on empty.
I'm putting $15 in my gas tank right now because I don't have the money to fill it up all the way as a college student, so.
Others don't see the increase as a long-term trend.
Yeah, it is more money, but I feel like we've seen stuff like this in the past where gas prices have increased and people have to pay a little more.
AAA expects prices to peak at $2.46 a gallon in Oklahoma, but a thriving oil and gas industry could be more beneficial than savings at the pump.
It's kind of a catch-22. I don't want to pay more, but at the same time, I do want people to have jobs, and I want the Oklahoma economy to do well.
But that $200 could always be spent on something else.
I could use that money towards my college or my kid or, something more like that.
Either way, it's hard to get pumped about higher gas prices. Nate Fain, OU Nightly.
That price jump likely won't be as sharp in Oklahoma compared to other states because of low gasoline tax rates and the proximity of refineries.
And Abby Green joins us now in the News Center with more on stalled Arkansas executions.
But first, the latest on North Korea's ballistic testing. Abby?
North Korea claims it will do weekly missile tests despite tension from the international community. Touring the North Korean border, Vice President Pence said the president will not continue the strategic patience of past presidents, adding that he hopes to resolve the issue peacefully. China has again called for North Korea to stop all tests. The Arkansas Supreme Court just stopped the execution of 2 men set to die today. This follows a Saturday injunction involving the planned execution of 8 inmates. U.S. District Judge Christine Baker ruled there's a possibility the inmates may succeed in challenging the execution protocol. A 5-state manhunt is underway for 37-year-old Steve Steffens. Steffens uploaded a Facebook video showing him pointing a gun at a man's head and shooting him dead. The video was on Facebook for approximately 3 hours before it was removed. The White House held its 139th Easter egg roll today. The event included an Easter bunny, the Trump family, and 21,000 attendees. The president colored greeting cards for U.S. troops, and First Lady Melania Trump read a book to the children. And Joe and Anna, less than half of Americans believe that President Donald Trump keeps his promises, according to a Gallup poll.
Abby?
And still ahead on OU Nightly, some students fight what they think is a case of racial discrimination on campus.
Plus, a new bill gambles for Oklahoma's education.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. Oklahoma legislators may have found a way to ease the state's financial education shortfalls. House Bill 1837 could allow the lottery to increase prizes in the hopes of generating more money for schools, boosting education payout by about $100 million over the next 5 years. The bill has made it through the House and now heads to the Senate floor.
A study of states' withdrawal policies found that Oklahoma does better than other states when it comes to rainy day funds. The Pew Charitable Reserve Fund found that Oklahoma's Constitutional Reserve Fund meets several benchmark qualities. For example, Oklahoma law doesn't let lawmakers take money from the fund without a reason or all at one time.
And OU students are rallying together in the name of one professor whom they believe may be being discriminated against by the university. Native American Studies professor Chris Basaldu was denied reappointment during his 3-year interview, and now students are demanding a reevaluation. Many students believe that the decision not to allow the continuation of his tenure track is discriminatory because the professor has contributed in a number of ways to the NAS program and curriculum. Amanda Cobb-Greeton of the Native American Studies Department said these processes and decisions are taken extremely seriously. Situations such as these are truly difficult because they involve people's lives. The petition has over 300 signatures so far and will go on to university representatives such as OU President David Boren and the OU Board of Regents.
Campus Corner hosted its second annual Arts on the Corner Festival this past weekend. The festival allowed local artists to sell and showcase their talents. OU Nightly's Zach Brown has more.
Normanites were treated to painted portraits, live music, and dancing over the weekend. While the event gave families something to do on a Saturday afternoon, the impact Arts on the Corner is making in the community is very significant.
And we also decided to do an arts event to help support arts education in the Norman Public Schools. We're raising money for the Norman Public Schools Visual Arts Program.
Artists took this opportunity to support a great cause and also spread the news about their businesses.
Like the Campus Corner cares about the Norman Public School system, and I know like in Oklahoma we really need all the help we can get.
Art is a form of expression, even a coping mechanism for those who are enduring rough patches in their life. A few locals have found that art can bring back life when all hope seems lost.
I lost a baby, and it was very, very hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever experienced, and I was really, really down. So I decided to one day say, I need to do a sad dance. I need to dance through the sadness, and I did, and that got me through it.
I've gone through a hard period like just recently with the death of a loved one, and I tell you what, you forget about all your troubles when you start doing art, and it makes you feel good inside.
3. Arts on the Corner is still new, so it's relatively small. But as the years go by, the goal is to eventually make it a big community festival. Zach Brown, OU Nightly.
The event nearly doubled in size from just a year ago, and Campus Corner officials hope that it continues to grow. Well, still ahead on OU Nightly, another natty makes its way to Norman.
Plus, Grant Tosterud is up next, and he'll tell us when these clouds could roll out.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Grant Tosterud. Well, clouds are still hanging around right now. There is this cloud deck. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see an end to that later tonight. Right now, though, we're sitting at 69, just a degree short of 70 today. Pretty humid out there. Dew point at 59, just some light east-southeasterly winds out there. So a really pleasant day aside from that cloud cover right now. So if we go take a look at the satellite and see what these clouds are doing, they've really been hanging across the state all day today, slowly fading out and slowly moving to the south throughout the day. And we'll eventually start to see a break from this cloud cover through the overnight. But under these clouds, a few heavier pockets of rain accompany these through southern Oklahoma, even a few heavier showers that just went through the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if we take a closer look at some of these showers, a few heavier spots here through extreme southern Oklahoma. So here's 35. There's Marietta, Thackerville just down there, World Star Casino. Ardmore's right there, rain to the south, and that's going to continue to move out of the state. So no rain to worry about tonight here in central Oklahoma. Now this model here is picking up some rain right here. I don't think that's going to happen. So like I just said, don't worry about any rain in central Oklahoma tonight. And then as we move through midnight, the clouds will continue to move out. A few high clouds though. And then as we move through by tomorrow morning, a few more clouds will begin to develop, but by 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, the clouds will begin to move out. Just a spotty rain shower here throughout southeastern Oklahoma. And as we take future radar into tomorrow evening, a few spotty rain showers could develop along the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles, but as we move through the overnight and into Wednesday morning, those will disappear, and plenty of sun for our day on Sunday. Maybe a spotty cloud, but winds will really be on the increase from the south, keeping temperatures warm for your day on Wednesday. Now, tonight, 8 p.m., a mild 67 degrees, only getting down to 62 by midnight. Winds will be on the decrease as well, almost calm through the overnight. Tomorrow morning, elsewhere across the state, 59 is what we'll get to for a low here in Norman, 59 too in Oklahoma City. As you head out the door tomorrow morning, 60 degrees by 8 a.m., mid-70s by noon, so move those lunch plans outside because it's going to be a beautiful day. 80 degrees for your drive home by 5 p.m. Elsewhere across the state, temperatures mostly in the 80s, maybe even a few 90s up in the panhandle tomorrow. Winds south 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then that sun comes out for Wednesday, warming up to 83 degrees, and then a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms Thursday night. Best chance for severe storms comes Friday. Temperatures in the 70s, and then a cold weekend ahead of us, guys.
Wow. Wow. So it seems like despite Friday, we haven't had really a big severe storm season yet, which is nice.
Right. And most of our tornadoes actually come in May, so still have some time for that.
Buckle up. Thank you.
That's right.
Well, still ahead on OU Nightly, Collin Kennedy will join us next with more on OKC's playoff opener.
Plus, we'll relive all the action from OU Women's Gymnastics National Championship win.
Welcome back. OU women's gym solidified their dominance this weekend by winning the national championship. This makes it back-to-back titles for the Sooners and the program's third overall. This season, the Sooners were undefeated, and to cap off the year, they set the record for the highest team score in a Super Six. The Sooners' score of 198.38 beat out the record of 198.17, previously set by Florida and, of course, OU. A major key to the victory was the leader, Maggie Nichols, who uncharacteristically later on Friday, fell off the beam but came back on Saturday and earned a perfect 10.
I just wanted to go in and nail my routine, so we decided to take the front out, and I went up there and I wasn't even nervous and nailed my routine and got a 10.0, so I was just doing it for the team. It was unreal. The team started jumping and we were all dancing and screaming. I don't think the screaming has stopped yet, so I mean, we're all just so elated.
And two of the stars of the weekend will be on Sooner Sports Pad tonight at 7:30. Swaggy Maggie Nichols and Brenna Dowell will be in studio to talk about winning that national title. We'll also have a feature on former OU pitching great Garrett Richards, and of course those viral videos you do not want to miss. Check out Sports Pad tonight on Fox Sports Oklahoma or tomorrow at 5 here on OU TV right after our newscast. OU softball completed the sweep of Kansas over the weekend. The series win and an Oklahoma State loss put the Sooners in first place in the Big 12. The Sooners have won 15 straight games and are 9-0 in the Big 12. If you're hoping to see the ladies in action, you are unfortunately out of luck unless you'd like to travel. The final 4 remaining home games for the Sooners are officially sold out. OU baseball, on the other hand, hasn't had such luck. The Sooners were swept for the first time this season by the Michigan Wolverines in Ann Arbor. They are now 7 games into their 8-game road trip, and to say that they are struggling would be an understatement. They have posted a 1-6 record on the road, but the good news is they return home on Friday to take on Kansas. The OKC Thunder and Houston Rockets, however, tipped off their playoff series last night in Houston, and Game 1 did not go the Thunder's way. The 22-point effort from Russell Westbrook was not enough. James Harden and his 37 points stole the show of the evening, but the highlight of the night for OKC fans later came when Mr. Steven Adams absolutely destroyed Patrick Beverley. It's coming up right next after James Harden gets the bucket. Bam! Takes out Beverley, kicks it over to Robertson for the 3. Now, I'm not even a Thunder fan, but you gotta love that in a world of foul calls when players breathe on each other and get the foul. Game 2 of the series will be tipped off at 7 p.m. on Wednesday.
You just communicate with those guys. We've been here before. A lot of those guys, myself, Nick, Dre, Steven, those guys been in different series. It's the first 1 to 4. They won 1 on their home court, and regardless of if you win by 22, 40, it doesn't matter. It's still 1-0. We got to come back and be ready to play for the next one.
NBA playoff games you can watch tonight, however, feature the Pacers and Cavs at 6 and the Grizz and Spurs at 8:30. The Cavs currently have the series lead after narrowly escaping the Pacers in Game 1. Plenty of controversy surrounding that one as Paul George didn't get the final shot and did not like it. Then you have the complete opposite scenario as the Spurs absolutely destroyed the Grizz in Game 1, 111-82. Well, it's every kid's dream to score a touchdown for their favorite football team, and one young man got his chance. Jacob Jarvis, a 17-year-old with muscular dystrophy, got the ball on the last play of the Ohio State spring game and made the most of his opportunity. Takes the handoff, gets down the field, getting blocks, dodges tackles, and makes his way to the end zone for the score. Look at him dodging those tackles left and right. Takes it in. Epic moment for him. The Ohio State players came up with that idea and were ecstatic as Jarvis crossed the goal line. As you can see them greeting him there. Really special moment for that young man. I love when teams get those kids involved. That's a very big moment for them, and I'm glad that teams just go out of their way to be charitable.
Right. Heartwarming and just kind of gets them involved in the community. That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Great.
Really puts a good image on those teams especially.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, thank you,
know
Collin.
he had fun.
Yes.
Thank you, Collin. And still coming OU Nightly, a new addition to a New York zoo.
I'm Olivia Whitehead at the Update Desk. A 90-day hold on admission referrals has been placed on the Tolina Veterans Center. It's the second hold in the 6 months following the recent deaths of 2 patients. The center loses up to $350 a day in revenue for the lost referral. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Olivia. Well, April had her baby, and more than 1 million people were watching and cheering her on. The internet's favorite giraffe gave birth to an unnamed male calf Saturday morning, and within an hour, the little feller was up and walking around. This was April's 4th calf, and the new giraffe will be relocated in 10 months, but before that, giraffe fans will have a chance to name the new guy. Any bright ideas for new giraffe names?
Why do you put us on the spot?
June.
Oh, well, born in April, but okay.
True.
What's the fourth one? So we can just do like an extra month. Well, my bad.
All right, you guys think about it.
We'll get to the weather.
Yeah.
It's a warmer day in store for tomorrow. A little bit more sun as well. Then Wednesday, the wind really picks up and even warmer, 83 for a high, and then chance for some severe weather next Friday. So we'll keep an eye on that for you.
Yeah, thank you. Any brilliant ideas while we were listening to weather?
Absolutely not. Spots.
Right.
I feel like that's the evident choice there.
All right. Well, thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.